So on day one, we discussed about what are the different components of Selenium we have, and we discussed that we'll be covering up Selenium WebDriver only. And later on we'll also cover Selenium Grid, but yeah, starting will be with WebDriver because other two components like Selenium RC and ID, both of them are obsolete product now. Whatever is famous in market and whatever is being privileged in market these days is WebDriver only. So our most of time will be spending on Selenium WebDriver. And if I talk about which version of Selenium will be working on, then the version which we'll be working on will be Selenium 3. Earlier, the Selenium which got famous in the market was Selenium 2, but now they have moved to Selenium 3, and in fact, Selenium 3.6 is something which is there in market now. So first of all, I'll start with setting up the environment. See, setting up environmental Java is already there. So if you see, uh, we have installed Java and we have Eclipse done with us. So the next step for us is including Selenium jar file into the project, right? So for that, what you have to do is go to the seleniumhq.org site, and then there is an option of download Selenium. I'll just ping this link to you all in the chat section. Okay, here we have this download Selenium link. Go to that. And here you can see the latest version of Selenium available, that is 3.6.0. So this is the path from where you can download the latest version. And if you want some previous version, because some of the organization are still working on Selenium 2 and few organization are working on Selenium 3.0 or something like that. So if you want to get the previous releases as well, then at the left section, the second link is the one which you're looking for. So just go to this previous releases, and here you'll get the complete list of all the previous versions we have. Not all, from 2.39 they have maintained. The last stable one for Selenium in Selenium 2 was this 2.53. Okay, after that Selenium 3 came. Okay, so this 3 beta 2, all these were unstable. So like till this 3.2, they were very unstable, but after that all of them are stable. Jason, you're saying I have installed last year. Do I need to upgrade it? Yes, please upgrade it. Anyways, it's just a download and then you have to import in your project. So it is not something big, because last year you might be having 2.53. So 2.53 is an older thing. So let's work on the latest one also. But if you still work on 2.53, you'll not face any challenges. But still, let's work on the latest one. So if something breaks, we'll get to know how to fix it. Okay, so just download this 3.6 from here. I already have a 3.5. 3.5 and 3.6 are same, so we can work with that. Okay, next step is importing that jar file into your project. So we have downloaded it, save it somewhere. What I recommend is in your workspace, that is something which I follow. In your workspace, let's say my workspace is in C, users, Saurabh Dhingra, and then I have workspace. In workspace in your project, it is QA Tech Hub. This is your project, right? No. Okay. In this workspace only, I'll create one folder with name libs. So if you see here, I have this folder with name libs. In this libs, I'll keep uh, all the jar files which I'll be downloading. So here you can see I have the Selenium server standalone 3.5, 3.3 jar file, one of the version of Selenium. So all these Selenium jar files which I work on, I'll just keep on saving them here so that I have one location for all the files. Now go back how to import that jar file in your project. And I recommend you also to create this libs folder and keep all your jar files here so that maintainability is easy. Now, in this project, on your project, to import that jar file, what you have to do is right click on the project, Then there is an option build path, go to build path. Then there is an option configure build path. So select this configure build path, and here we have an option libraries. Select that. By default it will be this, so you have to select libraries. Then there is an option of add external jars. Click on that. Navigate to the path where you have kept your jar files. So my jar files is in workspace libs. Here is my jar files. Select the one which you want. So I want 3.53, so I'll just select this, click open, click OK. So this will import the jar file. Here you can see that we have a reference libraries. So here is the jar file. Okay. Now this is what you need as a setup to work with Selenium. Nothing else is required. Any questions till now? Okay. Now we are ready to start working with Selenium. Next step, I'll create another package in it. So it will be day 5. Okay. And in this day file, I'll start working with Selenium. Okay, so first thing what we'll do with this Selenium is we will simply invoke a browser and uh, do small stuffs with it. Okay, so in day 5, first of all, I'll right click, create a new class. Okay, in the last session we discussed about classes and objects in detail. Now we'll have the implementation of that. So here, let's say I create a class with the name working with Chrome. Okay. Okay, so this is one class which I'm creating, and in this I'll write certain methods. So let's start writing methods here. Okay, now whenever you test any application, first thing you do is you always identify the browser, right? Then you open that browser, maximize it, and do whatever you like to do, right? So here also the steps will remain same. The only thing is that the steps which we will be writing will be through code. Whatever we want to execute, we'll write it through code. So as I told you that the first step was identifying the browser. So here also we will identify the browser. So there is a class called Chrome driver. Okay. So this Chrome driver class is something which is available at this location. Now where is this location? This location is available in the reference libraries. We have added this jar file. If you open that jar file, you will find this. See, we have org.openqa.selenium.com. So if you come down somewhere, you will find this org.openqa.selenium.chrome. So here is that package. Inside this, we have this class, chrome driver.class. Okay, so this is the class from which class I'm calling here. Okay, so what these things are, these are already written methods available in Selenium. We'll be using these methods to perform certain operation. Like what I want is on my Chrome browser, let's say I'll just name it a driver. First step, what we'll do, we will initialize that driver. Okay, say for or let's just declare it. Initialization will do later. So I just declared one variable called Chrome driver. Okay, so what this will do, this statement identifies the browser. So we know that we are working with Chrome driver, but we need to initialize it as well. So initialization will do where here. So I'll create a method. Just recall the last class. In last class, we discussed that a class has two things only. One is variables and second is methods, right? So I created one variable with the name Chrome driver, and second, I have created one method where I'll be uh, writing the logic. Okay. Now This initialization part I could have done in the same line, but before I initialize this Chrome driver, I need to set one system property. How will you set the system property? There is something known as system dot set property, uh, which system property you have to set. There is one variable, and variable is for Chrome, the variable is WebDriver dot Chrome dot driver. This is the variable, and what is its value? Its value is equal to the path of one exe that exe will be downloading from seleniumhq.org site. Okay, so here I'll open seleniumhq.org site. Just again go to this download Selenium, and here see, from here we downloaded the latest jar file for Selenium. Then if we come below, there is an option of third-party drivers, bindings, and plugins. In this, we have one something known as Google Chrome driver, which has one version associated with it. Just either download this one if you want the latest one, or go to this Google Chrome driver. It will take you to this link where there will be an option of all version available in download. Click on downloads. It will take you to the location where it has kept all the older version as well. Now, with respect to the versions, they have also mentioned which browser it supports. Like 2.32, it supports Chrome 62 and above. Similarly, this 2.33 also supports 62 and above. Okay. Similarly, if you'll come down, if you have 58 Chrome version, then you can use this 2.30 and so on. Okay, so depending upon the version of Chrome installed on the system, you have to download the respective one. Best is download Chrome latest one. Latest generally supports all. Sometimes there might come a defect, but yeah, then you can look upon which version will suit you. So just download from here, go to this, and one very important point, you will observe that for Windows operating system, it has only mentioned 32-bit. It has not mentioned 64-bit. The reason being, it only releases one version which works fine with both the versions. Be it 32-bit or be it 64-bit, it works absolutely fine with both. So just download this Win32 and again save it in your libs folder. Okay, the folder where I have kept other things. Okay, uh, let's move ahead. Any questions till now? So here in my libs folder, if you see, this is the downloaded Chrome driver, and when I unzipped it, this is the one. Inside this, we have this Chrome driver.exe. So I'll just copy this path and we'll come back to my code. Here the path will be replaced by this. Also, here you need to mention the name of the jar file, sorry, name of the exe file with the extension. So I'll just copy this, put it here. Just one more point, that all the single slashes here needs to be replaced with double slashes. So I'll say Control F, replace all single slashes with double slashes. Why we have to do that? There is a small reason behind it. See, single slash and a letter in Java is considered as an escape character. Okay, so single slash with a letter is considered as an escape character. Like one of the example is slash n. This is for new line. Similarly, we have slash t. This is for tab, and so on. Okay, so if you put a single slash and a letter, Java will try to consider it as an escape character. To nullify the effect of escape character, you have to put another slash before it. So this slash n means new line, double slash n means single slash n. Okay, this word. So that's the reason I just replaced all single slashes with the double slashes. Okay, after this, now I'm ready to initialize my browser. So it will be driver equal to new Chrome driver. Okay, so what we did here, first of all, we declared one variable of type Chrome driver. Then we set the property. Why we need this property? Because this is one variable defined in this Chrome driver class where the value of it is the path where you have kept the Chrome driver exe. And why you need exe? Because the methods written in Selenium, they are generic methods. Now to execute those methods on different browsers, it needs an intermediate, because the way a method is implemented in Chrome driver is different than the way a method is implemented in Firefox driver. So both have different implementation. If both of them have different implementation, that means they're that means you need something who can understand. So every browser, be it Chrome browser or Firefox or Safari, all of those browsers launches one or releases one exe which can understand Selenium method and execute on the browser. Okay, so you can see how famous the Selenium has become, that even the vendors of browsers, like big browsers like Chrome, Safari, those browsers supports Selenium. They are releasing exes to support Selenium. Okay, so this is why you need. Any questions till now? Anything which is not clear? So I'm spending a lot of time in these small things because they'll form the basic. Uh, I could have continued, but yeah, I'm just covering all these things so that you get to know why we are using this, why we have this system.set property, and so on. So do let me know if you have any questions. Yes, Jishan, you have any question?
And I actually my internet got problem. So when you are jumping on this page, before that I missed small portion of it, couple of minutes. So that's okay. I will check in the video. So that's not a problem.
Okay, fine. So yeah, next is, so we are ready with the driver instance. Next step will be, see, whenever you open a browser, any browser, sometime it opens.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah,
Sorry
sorry.
for the interruption.
Yeah, yeah, go
How
ahead.
to check the Selenium version?
Uh, the one which you already have or what?
Yes,
Because,
I already have it. So I want to check the version of it.
okay, so wherever you have stored it, it will have this word mentioned along with it. So Selenium Server Standalone,
Okay.
after that, this is the version.
Okay. No, it's fine.
Okay. Okay. So let's start. This, yeah, I was saying that when you open a browser, sometime it opens in a minimized screen, sometime it opens in a maximized screen, uh, or full screen, and like that. So what I want is, as soon as I open my browser, it should always get maximized. So what is the way? It is driver dot manage what window. What do you want to do with it? Maximize it. So this is one way where you can maximize your window. Again, driver, there is a method called manage, then there is a method called window, and then there is a method called maximize. So here we are calling multiple method. This is known as method chaining. Okay, calling one after other. Now this is one method to maximize. Any questions? Anyone? Okay. Next is, after maximizing, the next step will be deleting all cookies. So it will be driver dot manage what, delete all cookies. So what this will do, it will delete all the cookies. Now what are cookies? Cookies are some information which are stored by your browser to enhance your reading performance and all, or your browsing performance basically. Okay, so Sometimes these cookies are good, sometimes they cause problem. So if you are doing an automation testing, you always want that cookies should not affect your browsing testing. So that's the reason that before starting we always delete the cookie. Okay, so how will you delete? This simple way is dot delete all cookies. Okay, so yeah, any questions? Okay, so now we are done with all the settings. We have maximized the window, we have deleted all the cookies. We are ready to invoke the URL. Okay, so for that there is a method called get, and in the argument you have to pass the URL. So the URL will be, you when you're giving the URL you have to give the complete protocol as well. So the protocol is http colon double slash, let's say I'm opening QA Hub, so it will be qatechhub.com. Okay, so this is the command uh, which will navigate you to QA Hub. After that, once you have opened this page QA Hub, next step will be, let's say I want to get the title of that page, so it will be string. Let's say I want title, so I'll say title of the page. Why I'm getting the title of the page? Because what I uh, see is, whenever we do start of the testing of any application, the first test we do is testing the title of the page. Okay, so here also it will be string title of the page will say driver dot get title. So what this method will do, driver dot get title, this method will return title of the page to you. Okay, just to show you, I'll just print it, and I'll also show you from where title will get title of the page. Okay, so title of the page from where you will get, if you go to any browser, if you just hover over it, you will see that, see, this is my browser. If I hover over it, I get some information, exceptional handling in Java slash QA. Okay, or if you just press F12 on this browser, okay, it opens up something which we'll discuss in detail, but there is some HTML code. If we go to the head of that, there is a tag called title which has this information. So from here this title will come. Okay, so yeah, I'm just for now. This is what we do in invoke method. Next, after invoking, let's say I printed the title, I just want to close the browser now. Okay, so there is a method called, I'll create a method public void close browser. Okay, now there are two methods to close a browser. One is driver dot close and second is quit. Now what is the difference between close and quit? Close is to close the one single window, one single active window, whereas quit is to close all the open window. Say for example, you open the browser and you have some couple of tabs opened in it. Okay, so if you want to close the currently active one, say for example, the currently active one is this one, the one you see now. If you want to open this one, sorry, if you want to close this one, then it will be driver dot close. But if you want to close the all the three, then it will be driver dot quit. Okay, so here I can use quit, or I can say driver dot close. And this is one of interview question as well. What is difference between close and quit? So close is to close the currently active window. Okay, and quit is to close all existing windows opened by Selenium. So just remember, this will be whatever is opened at that time in that session by Selenium, it will only close those, not all. So I'll just close this. My bad. I'll just comment it out. We'll keep only one. Okay. Abhilasha, you have a question how to set Firebug and Firepath in Chrome browser. There is no way. Firebug and Firepath are not supported in Chrome. And let me come there. I'll discuss it in detail. Let's continue step by step. Okay. Okay. So moving ahead, next is why I closed. I'm sorry. What happened? Yeah. So this is my project. Yeah. So we created this class. Now I want to demo it. We created this invoke browser and close browser. Let's test it whether they're working fine or not. So for that, I'll create a class with name demo working with Chrome, and we'll keep this public static void main checked. Okay, and here, first of all, you need to create an instance of this working with Chrome. So let's say I'll call it wc equal to working with Chrome. Any variable name you can put here, any object name you can put here. I just give wc just like that, and now it will be wc dot invoke browser will be the first method, and then we'll call close browser. So first it will invoke a browser, will do all the things which are mentioned here, and then we'll close the browser. Okay, so right click, run as Java application, we can execute this. Okay, actually I have two screens, so it has opened on the second screen. I'll just move it here, and you can see it has maximized the browser. Then you can see it has navigated to qadeckhub.com and then closed the browser. Okay, so we asked these steps to happen, and that's what happened. Now here if you'll see, it has also printed some of the information, which is it is saying starting Chrome driver with this version. So the Chrome exe which we downloaded, that had a version, remember? So for me the version is 2.28. Okay, so if you're using the latest one, that is 2.32, you'll get that version here. Clear? Any questions, anyone?
You have created that working with Chrome driver.
Yeah,
You've created that in class.
yeah.
Okay,
So
because I missed that. that-
yeah, so what we did, we created first this class. Okay, and this I have written only two method, invoke and close. Then I created another class, demo working with Chrome, where I have this main method. So if recall the previous classes, that execution always starts with the main method. Remember? So here
Yes.
I have in this demo working with Chrome, I have created this main method, and in that we have called methods from the other class. So the invocation will happen from this class. It will first of all create an instance of it, then we'll call invoke browser, and then we'll call close browser.
So these are keyword working with Chrome.
Working with Chrome is the name of this class, the other class which
Oh,
I
sorry. Yes.
created.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yes.
this is the name of this class, and in that we have this method called invoke browser, right? So I just called that invoke
Yes.
browser, and this name wc, you can put this any name, whatever you like.
Okay.
This is just name of a
Okay.
variable. Okay, any questions?
So in the end, I will be asking you about the WebDriver uninstallation.
Uninstallation, you don't
Like,
have to install or uninstall anything. You just have to, like, you have downloaded the latest one. Now create a new project And in that new project, right click the things which we did, right click, build path, then configure build path, then go to libraries, add external jar, and then select the jar file. Select the jar file, open OK. That's all. That's what you need. Nothing uninstallation and installation is needed.
Actually, the problem is I've installed in the Windows 7, so I've upgraded to Windows 10, and
Mhm.
that WebDriver is not supporting it.
Okay, no problem. Let's do one thing. At the end, you can share your screen. I'll help you in that. I'll help you in setting up this Selenium thing.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anyone? Deepika, Abhilasha, you guys have any questions? Okay. So let's start with the next topic then. And next is there are few navigate commands which are available in Selenium. I'll try to show you what all are the commands. If you open any browser, see here. Let me open. Yeah. Now look at here. On this browser, uh, we have this back button, right? If I go back, there is this forward button as well. So one is back, one is forward, and then there is one refresh button. So if I click on it, it will reload the page, and then you can write and press enter. So there are four methods: navigating to a particular URL, refreshing the page, going back, going forward. These are the four methods, or you can say four navigate commands we have. So I'll just write it down. Driver dot navigate to. This is one command which is exactly similar as this dot get. Exactly similar. Both do exactly same thing. They both call exactly same method internally. No difference at all. It's just that there are two different commands available to perform single thing. Okay. So here if I'll just change it to, let's say, facebook.com. So it will take you to facebook.com. After that, let's say I want to go back. So I'll say driver dot navigate dot back. Okay. So it's like going back in the browsing history. Okay. If you don't have anything to go back, it will not do anything. Will like if you have opened the browser for the first time, there is no back button. I cannot click on it, right? So that means there is nothing to go back. So if that's the case, it will not do anything. Similarly, just like this back, we have something known as forward. What this forward will do, it will take you forward to the browsing history. Forward to the browsing history means, let's say you are here, then you want to go back, I mean, go to the next, the site which you opened after it, then you have to click on this. Okay. So that is forward. Now, last one is refresh is like reloading the page. So if you come here and let's say you are here and you want to reload the page, just click on it, it will reload the page. So this method is exactly the same. Driver.man-navigate.refresh, what it will do, it will reload the page for you. So here you can see that the page is reloaded. Okay. Any questions, anyone, till now? Okay, so if I execute this code, it will be right click, run as Java application. So now you will see it has invoked the Chrome browser. Just give me a second, I'll take it here. Yeah. So you can see it has taken to the QDEC hub. Now it is forwarding to facebook.com. Then it will go back, will come forward and refresh the page. Okay, so yeah, that's how it works. Any questions, anyone?
Can you show me that working with Chrome class again?
Yeah, here you are.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions, anyone? Okay, so moving ahead, next what we have is there are few more commands quite similar to it. Let's see. So I'll create one more method, and return type of this method, let's say I'm keeping as string, and the name of the method I'm calling is get current URL. Okay, what does this method do? See, here we were first calling QA then we called Facebook, then we did a back, then we did a forward, then we did a refresh. So I'm not sure what should be my method, what should be the URL. Okay, so this method will return you whatever is the current URL. Or let's say you started executing, you were on Facebook and then you clicked on something, maybe some person's link, and here, let's say I clicked here, and here you can see that the URL of the page has changed to something. Okay, now you want to get what is this URL. So for that, there is a method called get current URL. I mean, I have created this method, so I'll say string current URL of the page equal to driver. On my browser, I want to call this method get current URL. Okay, what this will do, it will get you the current URL, whatever is the current URL on the page, it will get you and will store it in this current URL of the page variable. Okay, then here system.out.println, I can simply print, so I'll simply say current URL of the page, it will print. Okay, instead of printing, we have to return, because we have written the return method as this, so it will be this. So this method get current URL will return this value, and when you'll use it, like here after invoking browser, if I say string current, or let's say URL equal to driver, not driver, sorry, my bad, it is wc dot get current URL, and here we'll simply say URL. And when I execute this code, here when I open this here, see it has maximized. Abhilasha, you're saying I didn't view full window. I mean, the screen sharing is not full window, or you're not able to do the maximization. I didn't get you. So here you can see the current URL facebook.com was printed, because at that time when this method was called, the URL was facebook.com. Okay, so any questions? Okay, any questions, anyone? Okay, so these are few of the methods which we had. Okay, what else? Let me quickly see if I can show something straight away. Otherwise, we'll move to locators and identifiers. Okay, so next topic we have is identifying elements on on sorry, identifying web elements on a web page and interacting with them. Okay, so first of all, to um, interact with any web element on the page, what is web element? Let's first discuss that. See, I'm just opening a website called demo.guru99.com slash v4. Okay, now it's a dummy application which I'll be using to automate for first few classes, because it's a very easy website. Once you have done with practicing this, then you can move to some complex website as well. Initially, it will be very easy to explain as well as to understand if you're working on a simple website. Now here, if you look at, this is one dummy application, and there are few elements available on this page, like we have user ID, login, password, then login, then reset button. Whatever you see on the screen here, this text box or this message or this message or this button, whatever you see on the screen or this link, they all are web elements. Okay, this text box is a web element. This second text box is a web element. Then this login button is a web element. Now, to interact with this text box, you have to talk to it. Okay, to interact with it, you have to first identify it. Now, how will you identify? To identify, we use HTML code. If like whatever page you see here, every page is created in some HTML language. So we use that HTML code to identify them. Okay. Now, how will you see or identify the HTML code? One way is on the browser, just press F12, it will open its default console, or there are some good tools available in market. One of them is Firebug and Firepath, but the thing is, Firebug and Firepath only works with Mozilla Firefox. They are not available with others. Initially few days I recommend you to work with Firebug and Firepath. Once you'll be good in identifying the element, then you can skip Firebug and Firepath and start using the developer options which a browser provides as default. Okay, so how to install this Firebug and Firepath? Open the Mozilla browser, go to this hamburger symbol what you see, menu bar, open this, then there is an option of options, go that there. Here option, there is an option of add-ons is not there. Just a second. Yeah, sorry, not don't go to the options. There is an option directly add-ons. Go to that, and here in the get add-ons, uh, you can find your add-ons. Here there is an option of or you can just go to extension and then search here. Okay, search all add-ons, just search for Firebug. Okay, it will uh, like if it is already installed, then it will come in my add-ons. If it is not installed, then it will, you can go to this available add-ons and there it will show. So just like here, my add-ons is Firebug and Firepath. So just go to this available add-ons. You'll find there and just click on install. Both will get installed. So once they'll get installed, it will be like available like this. Okay. So yeah, that is how you will install Firebug and Firepath. Any questions? Okay, so once you install both of them, then you have to restart your Mozilla Firefox, and as soon as you restart, you will start finding this bug symbol here. What does this bug symbol says? This bug symbol is when you click on it, it will open up a console. This console has many things in it. Like first one is console itself, which we will see once we'll work with JavaScripts. Then we have an HTML where your HTML page will be available. CSS is where your CSS will be available. CSS stand for Cascade Style Sheet. Then we have something known as DOM, net, other things, and then we have Firepath. So on this screen, mainly we'll be working on HTML or will work on Firepath. These are the two screens where we'll be working on. Currently, if you see HTML, then you can see that below an HTML page is coming. The complete HTML page is coming. Okay, let me open this. Yeah, here you can see an complete HTML page is coming, which has some head, which has some body. In body, your data is there, and so on. Okay, now we will use this tool to identify the web elements. Okay, before I jump on to directly identifying the web elements, I want to give you a brief introduction to HTML. Okay, so we'll start with that now, but before that, let's have a break for 7 minutes. I need water, so let's have break now, and then we'll continue with HTML and then web element identification. Okay, so before we go to break, any questions, anyone? Okay, I need a 10 minutes break today. Something I have to take care. So see you after 10 minutes and then we'll continue with this. Okay, so we can continue now. Any questions before I move? Okay, so let's look at the next thing, that is HTML code. Okay, so you might have seen HTML many a times in your in your college time, and when you check any page and anything. So I'll just give you a brief, not will not go into detail, but whenever I'll take up any topic, I'll give you a brief introduction about that particular element so that you know it in detail. So first of all, I'll just created a new file, and from here I'll just change the language to HTML so that it can start taking HTML suggestions. Now, what is this HTML? Here you can see the title, this full form of this HTML is Hypertext Markup Language. What does that mean? It is a language which is being used by your browsers to render web elements on the page or elements on the page. Whatever you see on the screen, that is because of the HTML language. Okay. Now here, this HTML language, it is made up of, like, it consists of tags. There are lots of tags in it. Based on that only, it renders things on the browser. Okay, so the starting tag is always an HTML. Similarly, the closing tag is also HTML. And whenever we close any tag, we put a forward slash before that tag. So this is the starting tag and this is the ending tag. Now in between whatever you'll write, that will be uh, uh, in between whatever you like, that will come under this page. So we have two things in it. One is body and second one is head. It should be other around. First one is head and second one is body. Okay, so every tag you see will have a starting tag and will have an ending tag. Whatever you'll write inside that, that will actually render the page. Like in this head, I can have something known as title. Title, I can say, let's say, learning HTML, let's say QA Tech Hub, and then closing tag. So this will become the title of this page which I'm creating. Similarly, we have this body section. In this body section, we can have different things, like I can have an heading H1 and I can say H1 closing. Uh, I can say uh, welcome to the HTML session. Okay, so this is heading. Now whatever you write in this body, that is something which will come on the page. This whatever you write inside head, they'll not come on the page, but they are like headers. Okay, like if you want to include some source file or you want to include some extra file, that is something which comes under this head section. Something which you need to render on the page, that comes under this body section. Okay, now there are 6 level of headings: h1, h2, h3, h6. What differ is the size of or when to I mean uh, different like in when you are writing a article or a post, in that if you get multiple heading sections, then you can change them into h1, h2, h3 and so on till h6. So they will differ with the size of the text, font size of the text. So for example, I'm just creating demo.html. So I just created a demo.html. If I open it in browser, I'll just open it in one browser. I'll show you. Yeah, here you can see when I opened this page, here you can see the title is learning HTML, then a pipe QA Tech Hub. So the same text which we entered here, and H1 is welcome to HTML session. That is something which is coming here. So whatever you write here, that will start coming on this page. Okay, so the complete HTML is these headings and all. So you need to know different tags. Like here we have H1, this we have as body, this is we have as head, title. Like this, you should know all the titles. You should know all the tags what we have, and based on that, different elements will render on the page. Like here, if I say input, okay, then I'll not put anything else, and here I'm saying slash input, okay, and before that I'm saying, let's say here I'm saying h3 register to HTML class. Okay, this is what I'm doing. Then to create a new line, we have something known as BR. BR stands for break. Okay, it will create a new line, and here I'm saying, let's say first name. Okay, so yeah, now if I save this file and refresh this, see what it is coming. Welcome to HTML session, register to HTML class, first name, and then this text box is coming. From where this text box came? This input tag. Okay, let's say I want few more fields. Uh, let's say first name, last name, and then yeah, here you want let's say gender. Okay, and in gender, uh, let's say there are two options. One is male, and then you have female. Okay, now if I save it and refresh the page, you will see that first name, last name, gender, male, female, as just like this is coming. If I want to make it in different lines, I'll just put this break statement. Okay, now if you look at here, I wanted, like if I refresh it now, here first name is fine, last name is fine because I wanted text box only. When it come male and female, I wanted radio button, and radio button are also with type input only, then but still it is coming as text box. So what extra I have to do? So what extra you have to do here is you need to pass some type of extra information, and that extra information is known as attributes. It's like one of the attribute is type. If you change this type to radio here and copy this, paste it here as well. If you change these two information, when we refresh it, you can see that male and female are coming as radio buttons. Okay, so see the type is still input, but we added one attribute known as type. Okay, I'll do one more thing. I'll put one more break here so that it will become more clear. If we refresh, so you can see that here first name is coming as text boxes is coming as, and gender is coming as radio button. So you can select any one of the two. Okay. Oh, for now there are actually a different radio buttons, so that's why they both can be selected. Otherwise only one can be selected. Okay, so any questions till now? Okay, like this you can have attributes assigned to this also. Like I can have type equal to, as this is a text box, so I can put a text. Similarly here I can put type equal to text. Okay, if let's say you are adding one let's say you are adding one password as well, then you can change this type to let's say password. Then what you have to do is you need to change this type equal to radio. Instead of that, you need to change it to password. When you save this file, come back, refresh, you will see that this has come as a text box, but once you write in it, it is coming as it's coming as encrypted form. Here you can see it is coming, the letters are visible, whereas in the other one letters are not visible. So why this happened? Because this is the type of this is password. Okay, what other attributes it can have? It can have something like id are a unique way of, like, this is one unique thing you are providing to it, like name id equal to something, first name. Okay, here when you're defining this male and female, say you can give one attribute like maybe name equal to, there is one attribute called name. You can give name as, let's say, uh, gender. Okay, same name you can give to the other one. Okay, so like this they can be identified using this name attribute or this type attribute or this id attribute. So if you refresh here, okay, so now you can see that when I have given the name as gender to both the radio buttons, only one radio button can be selected. Earlier when name was not given, I was able to select both, but now I can select any one because this is the feature of radio button. Like this, pages get render on this because of the HTML page you create here. They start coming here. Okay, so that's what basics of HTML is. If you know about these things, that what is a tag, what is a tag, what is the tag, what is its attributes, okay, then you will be able to work with them, identify them. Okay, so now whatever new web element will come, I'll explain that then and there only. Now I can start working with whatever information we know. Okay, so any questions before I move on? So what we are going to learn now is how to identify these elements, this radio button, this radio button, this text box, how to identify them. Okay, so for that I'll be using one website, that is demo.guru99.com. I'll go to this website. Here, first of all, you have to register it. So I'll just ping the URL of this. Okay, here just give any, if you give your own email ID, then it will send you links of some assignments for 9 consecutive days. If you don't want that assignment, just type something at something.com. They will generate uh, this credentials for you for 20 days, but it works for more than 30-35 days, and save it somewhere. So I'll just save it on this. What happened? I don't know why my is not working. Sorry. So I'll just save it here for now. Okay. So yeah. Now your actual website is demo.guru99.com/v4. Just go to that. Here we have username and password. So if I just enter those credentials which I just taken out, copy it, we'll paste it here, and then we have the second one, password. I enter here and click on login button. So this is a website which you see where we have here you can see that manager ID is coming here. Then we have multiple links like manager, new customer. If you click on new customer, it will give you a form to fill up this form. Then we have edit. Then we have a new account where we have a drop down, and so on. Like there are many things which we'll learn on this website. Currently, I'll just log out of it. Then you have alert to learn and so on. So the first step is invoking this URL, that is demo.guru99.com, and then identifying this user ID, identifying this password, and enter user ID and password and click on login button. This is what we have to learn. Okay. So for that, I'll check the HTML code of it. So here I've just opened the Firebug. Here if you can see it is showing the complete HTML page, starting with an HTML tag, ending with an HTML tag. In between we have a head, we have a body. Okay. Now how to use this Firebug? Just select this and hover around the page. Like I went to this user ID, this I selected. Then you can see that the name is input. I mean the tag is input, name is UID, and there are many things in it. Okay. So this like this you can check the HTML code of any this web element. Now comes the point, how can you identify them? So to identify the web elements, Selenium provides us with 8 identifiers or locators. So now I'll go to identifiers and locators. I have an article written for that. Let me open that. So there are 8 identifiers and locators. Those are ID, name, class name, tag name, link text, partial link text, CSS selector, and XPath. These are 8 locators or identifiers we have in Selenium. Now out of these 8, today we'll be seeing the first 3, ID, name and class name. Okay. Now this ID, name and class name, they will be available directly as an attribute in your page. So if we go back to this and we check its HTML code, you will see that this particular user ID, this text box, it is of type input. I mean the name of this tag is input, and you can see it has an attribute with name UID. UID, this name is available as one of the this name is available as one of the identifier. Like this ID will also be available as an identifier. I'll show you. If we open facebook.com, okay, if I press F12 here, if I open this you can see this. Look at this. This input tag has an ID email. It has a class input text. So the first 3 which I showed you here, ID, name and class name, are available. See, ID is this, class is this, and name is this. So if any attribute has any one of the 3 and they can be uniquely identified using that, how to identify they can be uniquely identified or not, that we'll learn later. But for now, if they are available, any one of the 3, ID, name or class name, then you can go with it. Okay. So currently I'll just come here and I'll see that this ID can be identified with one of the locator known as name, and the value of name is UID. So I'll use this name equal to UID. Okay. So how to use it? Before that, I'll create a project in this. Right click, new class, and I'll call it Guru99 project. Okay, so working from here, I'll just copy paste few things because most of the thing will remain same. Till this, I'll copy, and here we'll close it. Invoke browser. So what we have done here is Chrome driver and then set the property this, and here we'll change this to demo.guru99.com/v4. Okay, after that, next, so any questions till now? I just have copy pasted the invoke browser part, nothing else. So what we are doing is we are invoking the browser, where first of all we are identifying the Chrome browser, initialize it, maximize, deleted all cookies, and navigate it to that particular URL. Next, we will write
Okay.
next method.
Well, you create.
Yes, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, Jason.
Isn't that possible? You create a separate class for Invoke browser and just recall it from there?
We'll do
Put
that.
the.
We'll do that in frameworks, not here. I mean, currently, for first 10 to 12 hours when we'll learn Selenium, we'll learn the basics. I mean, my main focus will be on teaching you different scenarios to automate. Once we'll do that, everything
Okay.
is done, then I will create a proper framework. There will follow all those things like keeping the invoke browser at one location where we can
Got it. Got
recall. The reason why I'm saying is because some student might join in between, then it will be difficult for them to get. So let's go one by one. Let's learn all the concepts, and then once we'll start with the framework, that time I'll follow all those things.
Okay. No worries. Thank you.
Okay, fine. So moving ahead, next what we'll do, I'll create a method known as login, and in the login, what we have to do is first we have to identify this user ID, then I have to identify this password, and then click on login. So I got to know that this can be identified with one attribute, one locator known as name. So here we will write like this: driver dot. Okay, before that, uh, there is something known as web element. Okay, so I'll create one instance of this class. Call it username equal to driver. So what we are doing is we are identifying this user ID first. Okay, so I call it, let me call it user ID itself. So I created one instance of web element. This web element can store this web element information. Okay, so what we are doing is user ID equal to driver dot. There is a method called find element which takes an argument, and argument is there is a class called by in which there are methods like name, class name, all those 8 identifiers we discussed, right? ID, name, class name, tag name, link text, partial link text, all these 8 identifiers which we have discussed, which we started, which I just mentioned, all of them have their implementation in this by class. So you can see class name, CSS selector, ID, link text, name, partial link text, tag name, XPath. What I want name. And what is the value of name? The value of name was UID. So I identified this user ID with the locator known as name, and the value of name is UID. Okay, so this is one web element which identifies this locator on the screen, this locator, this web element on the screen. Now comes the point, what you'll do with it. I can perform certain operation with it. So I say user ID dot, what I have to do, I have to write into it. So I'll say send keys. There is a method called send keys. This is one action. What you have to write, I have to write the user ID. So I'll just copy the user ID and we'll paste it here. Okay, so this is how you will identify a web element and interact with it. First, creating an instance of web element, then assigning value to it. To assign value on my browser, I want to search an element. Method is find element. With what criteria? with one of the locator called name, and that name method is written in a class called by. By has implementation of all the locators. What you're passing in it? UID, the value of that attribute. And then on this particular web element, what you can do is you can perform some operation. One of the operation is send keys. So this is the value which we are passing. Clear? Any questions? Okay. Now these things which you see here, I did it in 3 lines. They can be done in one single line as well. Like for the next one, I'll show you with that example. For this password, see how can I identify it. So just select that element, click right click, and then say inspect with uh, Firebug. So here you can see the second one also has this attribute called name. The value of it is password. So here I'll say on my browser, that is on driver, find an element which is searched by an locator known as name. What is the value of name? This is the value of name. So this is my web element. I can directly perform an operation on it. What operation? Send keys, and what should be the value? This. Okay. So this is same thing in one line. You can follow any one of the way, no problem with that. But going forward, when we'll do the framework part, then we'll learn a better way. I mean, then we'll learn which is the better way. Okay, for now you can use any way, any of the two way. Any questions? Okay. Next what I need is on my browser, I have this login button. I want to identify that. So right click, inspect with this. So here you have is again a name with value equal to btn login. So I'll just copy it, and then here I'll say driver. On my browser, I want to search by criteria, again name, value of name is btn login, and then what operation you want to perform on a button. What can you perform? You can click on it. So I'll just call this method called click. Okay, so this will go and click on that button. Clear? So what this will do, it will first identify this user ID, enter user ID, will identify password, will enter password, and then go and click on login button. So I'll just show you now this demo I'll give you for this. What we'll do, we'll create one class and name it demo Guru 99 project. We'll keep this public static void main checked for now. Finish. Okay, let's create instance of Guru 99. Invoke browser. Guys, just give me a second. I have a call to attend. Okay, sorry. So first of all, we'll invoke the browser. After that, I'll say group in login. So I'll log into the application and done. So for this, I'll execute the code. So you can see browser has invoked and it has invoked on the others. So I'll just move it out. Now you can see it has maximized, navigated to Guru 99, entered email ID, entered user ID, entered password, and then click on. And here you can see we have logged in successfully. Clear? So this is a small thing that how web elements can be identified and can be interacted with. Any questions? Any questions, anyone? Okay, then
Can you show
uh,
that page again?
code, right? Yeah,
That would, yes.
yeah, here is the code.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so any other questions? Okay, so then next what we can learn is, okay, I have this question. Is it enough for today or should I continue? Okay, Abhilasha is saying continue. Fine. Let's see one more thing. If I open, I'll go to my HTML. Now, next thing is, what if I have a link? How to handle that? Now, what is a link? Let me explain you. I'll put a br slash br. Br is like break. I mean, giving a new line. Now, what is a link? If you see on this page, there are many links available. All these things, what you see, they are links. If you see, if you come here, if I just remove this, here if you'll check, okay, sorry, my bad, slash v4. Here if you'll check, here the word written is here. When I click on it, it takes me to some other page, right? So that is some link where when you click, you'll navigate to some other page or some other site or something calls, right? So what is that? Actually, they are links. Links are in HTML. Links are there with a type with a tag known as A. A stands for anchor tag. Okay, so it is always with this A and then closing bracket A. Okay, now every anchor tag has one mandatory attribute known as href. Okay, href or hyper reference, whatever you want to call it, href or href, whatever you want to call it. What is the value of that href? The value of that href is the URL of the page where you want to navigate to. Say for example, I want to navigate to qa.com, and then there is one link text associated with it. So this is the URL where you will be navigated to. But what you'll see there, you will see the text which will be there in between the starting and in closing anchor tags. So if I just save this and come here, if you refresh here, you will see one text written here. So this text, what you see, is known as link text because it is a text associated with a link. Okay, now to identify links on a page, Selenium provides us with two locators, and those are link text and partial link text. So let's understand the difference between link text and partial link text. When you're matching, when you're searching for a link based on the complete text, like keyword hub here, then that will be a link text. If you are matching with partial matching, like you're just searching with tech word or sort of or only hub word or only QA word, then that will be partial matching. Okay, now so simple in simple terms, link text is matching the complete word, partial link text is matching partially the text. Okay, for that I'll give you one example, one practical example. If I show you, we'll go to one website known as mercurytravel.co.in, and on this website, if you look at here, the text is customer login. Once I log in into it, user login, once I log in into it, you can see that the same text has changed to welcome Saurabh. If you check its HTML code, you will find that again it's a link. You can see that it's a link, okay, which has text as welcome Saurabh. Okay, and this Saurabh word is dependent on who is logging in. If Saurabh is logging in, then it will come Saurabh. If Abhilasha will log in, it will be welcome Abhilasha. That means when I have to search this web element using link text or partial link text, I mean using the link text, then I cannot use link text. If I have to use link text, then I have to write an extra logic to get the name of the user, right? So what I can do is, instead of using link text, I can use partial link text to search this only with welcome and then this comma. Correct? So this is one of the example where partial link text can be used. Any questions? Any doubt?
I'm a bit confused now. So you go ahead. Let's see where you end up.
Okay, so what I was saying was, let me quickly recap because I was done. See, this is my link, right? I have to search based on the link text. This is what we call link text. If you're searching an element with the complete word, then it will be a link text search. Then the locator will be used will be this one. Just a second. Yeah, this one, link text. Okay. Now, if you are not searching with the complete word, rather you are searching based on some half word, like here the complete word is welcome, comma, Saurabh. Instead of searching with the complete word, that is welcome, comma, Saurabh, you're searching only with welcome, comma, that will count, that will fall under the category of uh, the other one, that is partial link text. Getting the point now, Jason?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So here, if another benefit of having that the other, I mean the partial link text is, if you come here, let me just log in, or here it is logged in. Yeah. So if you see here, we have new customer, then we have new account, and then we have, okay. So if I want to see how many web elements are there with this new word, that is something which also I can do through partial link text. Okay. Now, what we'll do now is we'll click on the new customer. If I show you its HTML code, I'll go back here and enter the email ID, username and password. So if I enter the email ID and password, you will see when I do right click inspect element with Firebug, here you can see it's a link, as it has an anchor tag, a tag, which has an href. Href is some PHP file. It is calling some PHP file. And then we have this new customer as link text. So here I'll add another method, public void add customer. Okay. So in this add customer, what I want is I want to click on this new customer button. So here I'll say driver dot find element by dot link text, and what is the value of link text? Add, what is that? Sorry, new customer. Okay, and what operation you want to perform on it? As it's a link, and what you can do with the link, you can click on it. So I'll just call a method called click. Clear? So what this will do, it will go and click on this new customer. As soon as you click on this new customer, this form will come up. Next step will be we will fill up this form. Okay. So yeah, any questions till now?
What happened to partial one?
Yeah,
Like I thought you were gonna continue with that.
partial one was, I was just giving an example of partial link text. Partial link text is when you have to match with the partial text. So once we'll automate this website, this where I have this welcome Saurav, that time I'll
Yeah.
show you it with partial link text.
Okay. Fine.
Okay. Now, to fill up this form, especially these radio buttons, I have to start with XPath. And XPath I don't want to start today because that is the one of the most important topic, and I want to start it fresh. So what I'll do, I'll just fill up this complete form, keeping gender as male as default value, and tomorrow uh, we'll learn XPath first, and then I'll select male and female depending on what you want. Okay, because if you check its HTML code of both, you will see that male as well as female both has exactly same uh, HTML code. It has name attribute as same value. Then type is radio. Only thing which changes value, but we don't have any value attribute. We don't have any value as locator, right? So I cannot use that. So ID is not there, name is not unique, class name is not there, tag name leave for now. It's not a link, so we cannot use these two. Then we are left with only two options, that is CSS and XPath. So XPath is something which I'll show you. I'll start with that here. Okay, but other things, if you check, all of them has name attribute, so you can use name attributes in all the others. Okay, rather me doing it, I want you to complete it, so I'm giving you one assignment. Try completing it. One of the assignment is, after clicking on first log into this Guru 99, after that click on this new customer and fill up this form, keeping gender aside. Okay, gender will see tomorrow. Rest everything you can fill, anyways it has a default value, so you will be able to click on submit as well. This is one assignment for you. Second assignment, fill up uh, sorry log into facebook.com. So you have username password with you. Let me log out, or yeah, let me log out. I don't know. Yeah. So open Facebook. You have user ID. You have password. Then you have login button. Enter your email ID. Enter your password and log into facebook.com. So this is the second assignment you have to complete. And tomorrow I'll give you another assignment where we'll fill up this complete form of creating an account. Okay. So yeah, these are two assignments for you
Saurabh,
today. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can cover the login thing in this side, like Guru 99 Bank. So we can cover the login thing
Uh,
to
why
automate it.
I'm saying is login of Guru 99 and then adding customer. These two things you have to do in Guru 99. In Facebook, I want you to
Okay.
not to use name, because most of the time we are using name attribute. Don't use name. We have other attributes like ID.
Okay.
You can use that. So just two things
Okay.
so that you'll get a
Okay.
good idea. Okay, so yeah, that's
Got
all
it.
for today. Tomorrow I'll start with the XPaths, and we'll also see drop downs. Yeah, these are the two main things. And we'll also see table iteration. Three things we'll be completing. Tomorrow is again a very important class. And yeah, tomorrow class will be again same time, morning 8 o'clock. Because Ishan, I suppose you had issue with today only, right?
Yeah, but I've got another thing. For the assignment, it's
Mm-hmm.
already 8 now. So I won't have much
It's
time
fine. It's
to
fine.
fit.
You can take next week to complete. I mean I don't want you to be in rush. Do it slowly.
Okay.
You learn better. Okay, so take
Okay.
a week and then complete. No issues with that. Why I'm saying is tomorrow some of my friends are, I mean, some relatives are coming, so I'll not be able to uh, work after 12. And another reason is Sandhya, she's in US, and uh, I have to take same topic twice, and number of students are very less. So that's another
Mhm.
reason. Only three students are there in this batch. Okay, so taking up one same thing again and again, I mean, I get tired as well, like teaching for almost six
Yeah,
hours
yeah.
continuously. So
So
whenever
what
you'll
about the
have,
assignment?
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Continue, continue.
Yeah, I was saying whenever you'll have any issue with the timings, do let me know in advance. I'll that time we can adjust. Okay.
Okay. So what about the assignment one we have submitted to you? So we didn't get any result. Like we don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah, I guess both of you have submitted it. Let me just stop the recording for today, and we can discuss if we find anything.